Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the Savvy Spa Boss Live. I am so excited about today's show because we are going to be talking about how we can, with the few weeks that we have left of quarter one, we're going to be talking about how you can plan out your quarter, so how you can start planning for success in the next quarter, but also we're going to be touching on how you can play catch up in these final weeks. So if you're watching live, I'd like you to type live in the comments, and if you're watching the replay, I'd like you to type replay inside of the comments. Okay, so why am I so excited about this week, you guys? If you go back to the first Savvy Spa Boss Live that we did this year, which was all about goal setting and planning out your time and how to make it happen and taking action. And, you know, there seemed to be like so much energy inside of that first show, because everybody, you know, it's a fresh start. It's everybody, hi Missy, you know, you're like turning a new leaf. Everybody has all these ideas and goals, and they're like just more of a passion for taking action and just kind of like starting the year off right. Well, like, where has time gone? I mean, I say this, I don't think I'll ever stop saying that in my life, just going like, oh my gosh, where does time fly? My son, who's 6 years old, he's always being like, oh, I want Christmas to come. I want summer to come. I want Halloween to be here. And I'm just like, don't rush life, because you can't rewind time. Anyway, so hopefully he'll get that. I'm like, so that's one thing that you can hear. One little piece of advice I can give you is don't rush your life. And he's like, okay, mommy, all right. But so today, like I said, we are going to be going over how we can make sure that the remainder of this quarter is an awesome one for you guys, and how you can start planning for the next quarter. So for those of you watching that don't know me, my name is Susan O'Sullivan. I am a spa owner. I am a spa business coach for aesthetic professionals and anybody in the health, beauty, wellness industry. And I'm one of the founders of Spa Temps, the online staffing platform. I am the creator of Spa Boss University, and I'm always excited to bring whatever I have to the table to you. And I love this type of talk because I'm an action taker. If you know me, I am an action taker. So if you're willing to take action, you're willing to plan it out, you're willing to do the work and like lay the foundation to your business and life, then magic can happen, okay? All right, so, and again, one of the other reasons why I'm so excited is because I've had a lot, like I've almost accomplished everything that I've set out to accomplish in this quarter before the quarter is almost done. So I want you guys to be able to have the same thing. So I'm going to stand. Oh, that's probably going to be hard to stand up. Kind of just figure that out. All right, because I'm going to show you some of my initial notes that I made at the beginning of this quarter. And if there's any questions that anybody has, please type them into the chat box, put it in the comments there, and I will do my best to get to them after the live is over. But first thing you want to do, and I'm not going to get really too far into like goal setting, because we have talked about that before, and I'm hoping that you do have an idea of what you want at the end of the year. I mean, and that's a whole other discussion, really. Like, that's like a big, you know, that's a big bowl of nuts right there. But so if you have a clear idea of what you want, whether it's in a year from now, 18 months from now, and you don't necessarily have to for this system to work. Like, and you know, you should have like 12-month goals, but if you don't have them, don't be like, oh, I don't have them, so I'm not going to listen. No, keep watching, because you can do it even if you just have quarterly things that you want to get done. But so once you have an idea of all of the things that you want to do, what you want to do is you want to just get it all down on paper, or you can do it digital if you want, but I like pen to paper. I said it in the first show, I love this pad of paper. It is so awesome. You can just get it at a craft store and just kind of get a marker, and like there's something about putting pen to paper that's just like less pressure to be like perfect with it. You just kind of like get it out, crumple up a piece of paper and toss it to the side if it's not, you know, what you want it to be. You know, it's just there's something I like about that. But you want to get it down all on paper. You want to just write down everything that you can think of that you need to do. Not only is this going to give you just a visual you're going to be able to visualize exactly what it is that you are wanting to do. But I find that anytime that you kind of do a data dump on paper, whether it's your to-do list, whether it's even like I've done it for like negative self-talk that happens in my head, all this kind of stuff. Like, I mean, especially if you're a woman and you have all of this kind of stuff happening in your brain all the time, and not all of it's great, just getting whatever it is down on paper, it somehow makes it not part of your body anymore, and you don't feel it. Like you don't necessarily feel it. Like, so if you know you have like 100 things to do and you can't visualize it and you can't like see at a glance exactly what those 100 things are, you can kind of feel it internally. And if I'm right, then, you know, let me know. Tell me in the comments that, like, you can say, just write the word internal, so you can feel like, so I know that, you know, I'm not the only one there. But so getting it down on paper is like step one. Just get anything and everything out and on paper. The next thing you want to do is have your quarterly goal. Have your idea going at the end of this quarter, because it's reverse engineering. And again, we've talked about that in previous episodes, but you have what you want to be done in a year, and then you're going to break it down into quarters of what you need to get done. And one tip I have is don't overpromise and underdeliver to yourself, because it's easy. You definitely don't want to do that for other people, and I'm sure you know that, and you don't do that for others. But how many times are you overpromising yourself and under-delivering, especially when it comes to things that you need to get done on a regular basis? And quite often I found myself for a long time piling so much on my plate, taking that whole mother list of things that I need to do and just smacking it on my weekly agenda. And even if I time blocked it and I did all of that, it was still like not getting done. And there's nothing worse than just feeling like you're not making any progress, when it doesn't have to be the reality. So you have to be really, you know, you don't want to feel like you're not giving yourself enough to do, but you want to be realistic in what you are putting on your plate in general. So you want to make sure that your goals are a stretch but attainable. So once you have your year goals and you've broken it down into what you need to do per quarter to make that 12-month goal happen, the next thing you want to do is break down your quarterly goal into projects. So you know that that you want to that like you have like these 5 different projects to do. So for me, because I have my spa side of things, and I also have spa temps and the spa boss side of things. I always have different projects that don't always intertwine. So I would say, so for my spa, this is what I need to get done this quarter. Maybe it's one thing, maybe it's 2 things. For spa temps, I need to get this done this quarter, and for spa boss, I need to get this done. So like I have my projects, which I'm actually going to show you guys. And then so once you have that, okay, this is where I'm going to actually show. I'm just going to stand up and find it. I'm going to show you a couple things. There's a lot of chicken scratch on here. Where is it? Okay, so this is one example of how I broke it down into projects, just different projects that I had going on. So project 1, project 2, project 3, project 4, project 5, and I just jotted it all down on paper. And then the next thing, I wanted to do is I went into breaking it down into quarters. So not all projects are take the same amount of precedence as others. Not that they're not important, but you know clearly if you're doing this work, like what needs to come up first, right? So if you break it down into quarters, this is what my quarter 1 is. So you can see all of those projects that I had each project broken down, and then under each project I had a whole series of like everything that was needed to make that project come to life. So once I had that, then I broke it down into quarters and into projects. So I was more detailed in in quarter 1, because as you move in quarters, you're going to see and you're going to readjust as you go along. So whatever quarter you're in, that's where you want to get the most detailed. But you can see I have project 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I kind of broke down these key things that I needed to do. And then Where's my other one here that I want to show you guys? And this is why I love pen to paper, because you can just get it down. Ooh. Hold on, bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. Because I wasn't actually going to show you this next one, and actually might not be here anymore, funnily enough. All right, it's not here. But so when I did that, I basically laid out a full chart, a full map of like what I needed to do, what I needed to create, especially if you're doing anything tech. Sometimes you got to like map it out, like the different segments that you need to create for your marketing and everything. So pen to paper helps. All right. So the next thing that you want to do when you're doing this is you kind of have all the chicken scratched down. You have all the pen and paper. You have your lists. You kind of have that all mapped out in your mind. And now it's time to get to business on actually making it happen. So it's one thing to plan, but if you don't take action every single week, every single day, and kind of keep pushing yourself forward, you're not going to make the kind of progress that you want. So there's two ways. You can keep it pen to paper, or you can keep it digital. I'm going to talk to you about two different things that that I use. So we have, and you might have already have access to it, depending if you are inside of Spa Boss University or not, or if you've had it from a previous giveaway that I've done in the past. But it's a Spa Owner Success Planner. So this Success Planner basically helps you. It focuses on everything that you need as a spa owner. So you talks about like goal setting. It talks about it gives you opportunity to time block. It gives you like kind of like self-coaching questions that works you through your day. It helps you with your promotions and your numbers. It's kind of like, I created it honestly just for the spa owner in mind. I also have a service provider success planner too, which has a lot of the same stuff, but it integrates a little bit more personal things as well. So what we do in the side of this planner is once you know what you need to do for the quarter, you break it down into monthly mother lists. So at the beginning of every month, you're going to be jotting down everything that you need to do inside of that month. And then you're going to prioritize it. It prompts you to like number things in order of importance, which is going to then tell you what you need to be focusing on each week. And then every week you're going to write down your weekly mother list. And then from there, you're going to time block everything that you need to do inside of that planner. And then you're just going to actually execute. So that was a really high level overview. And if you are interested in learning more and accessing that planner and actually having, having me help walk you through how to actually use it step by step, then take advantage of the 7-day free scholarship to Spa Boss University, because not only are you going to access the planner straight away inside of that program, but that is going to be the first masterclass that we do. Is we are going to talk about and do, not just talk about it. We're going to actually, with the Spa Boss members, Spa Boss University members, we are going to actually go in and start planning out do all your lists, your mother list, your weekly list, time blocking, and we're going to be able to really hash it out and get you actively using that planner. Now, if somebody is not pen to paper and you like having something like digital, you like being able to access it on your phone. So there's a lot of project management softwares out there that are great, and they all, have their different things that, are advantages or possibly disadvantages depending on the platform. And so that's like personal preference. But one thing that I love, because I love lists so much. I love creating my mother lists, my monthly mother list, my weekly mother list, my daily mother list, because it just helps me to see things on paper and cross it off and like give me my like checkbox or move it into completion or like to the completed folders or whatever. But I use Trello. I love Trello because all it is a list. You can really if you just join it and you don't really know, if you're not familiar with Trello, you can be like, I don't really know how to use this to my advantage. It's kind of cool, kind of not. And it's free, by the way. But what I love about it is I can kind of create so much, like so many different things in different ways. Like I have like project boards. I have my week ahead boards, which is where I do, in what I'm referring to now, that's where I do all of my planning, all of my personal time, my professional time, like everything is there. It's planned out. So I have my quarterly agenda, I have my monthly agenda, I have my weekly agenda, and then I have each day's laid out. And so I would really love to show you how I have set that up. So when you join for your 7-day free scholarship, you are going to be able to have access to that. It's going to be going down sometime probably next week. The date is to be determined, but that is going to be where we go through all of the planning. I'm going to go through the success planner. I'm going to go through Trello and how you can kind of use both to really make sure that you are tackling your weekly and quarterly goals. But one thing, or the takeaway here for today, you guys, is that you want to make sure that you're getting it all down on paper. You're breaking it down into projects, and then monthly projects, or like quarterly projects, monthly mother lists, just meaning everything that you need to do. Then from there, weekly mother lists, and then you're going to actually time block it into your schedule. And time blocking doesn't mean blocking off 6 hours and rhyming off 6 things that you need to do. If you set aside 6 hours to do something and you need to do 6 different things, you need to be specific as to exactly when each one of those 6 things are going to take place. Is it always easy to do? No, not necessarily, but it is going to help you stay consistent. And you can say, okay, in this time frame, like if you guys are like me and like you kind of be like, oh, a squirrel, like, oh, look, something shiny, you get distracted and you get pulled to different things. Like for me, it can be bad, you guys. Sometimes I'm doing this and then I'll be like, start one thing and then I'll remember that I had to do a next thing and I'll go to another window and then I'll go to another window and I'll go to another window. And then I got to go like, whoa, Susan, stop, rein it back. What have you have time blocked for this time? And then so whatever you have, whatever you're focusing on in that time frame, you need to kind of just push everything else to the side. And don't overlap either. Even if you're on a roll, you just got to make sure that you're dedicating time for each item. So for those of you here watching live or in the replay, if you're watching the replay later, I do my best to come back and look at the comments and answer any questions you have. But what questions do you have about setting goals for yourself? And Missy, if you're still here watching live, I know inside of the Spa Boss community, I did see your post actually just this morning actually. And I know you were talking about having your mindset about like when to like set goals and like when to like start getting things done and it was like setting boundaries for yourself. And I'm trying to like tie that question into here. But it was like, you know, instead of saying that, oh, I have to get something done by Friday versus saying I'm going to get it done before Friday, that it's a stronger mindset. And it's so true. But I think it also helps to just say, don't just say I need to get something done by Friday and then expect yourself to play catch up. But if you're using the planner and you're going in, you're time blocking, you're setting time. So if I want to get my newsletter done by Friday, and I know that newsletter is going to take me 2 hours to do, and so then I have an option. Am I going to spend 2 hours on Wednesday doing that? And am I going to time block that in and shut out the rest of the world until it's done? Am I going to spend half an hour on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? And so I'm going to block those half an hours in there. So it's like a combination of mindset and planning and taking action. So there's always those 4 things that are like my, like in any aspect of my life. It's like those are the underlying system where, what was it? I don't want to miss this one. Oh yeah, okay. No, I was just second guessing myself. But dream it, believe it, plan it, do it. And whatever it is, those are what you have to do to actually take action. Whether it is you're doing all of it all the time, in that order, or you kind of hop in and you just got to work on, like, there's always one of those areas that you need to work on more than others. But dream it, believe it, plan it, do it. Dream it, believe it, plan it, do it. And there might be times where you're doing a lot more of the doing it, and sometimes where you need to focus more on the believing it. But whatever it is, you need to go through those steps. All right, you guys. So for those that were here live and for those coming in on the replay, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy that you're coming to this presentation, not presentation, this show, whatever you'd call it, with. It's always fun. I always like bringing you guys as much value as possible. So if you got value out of this, I invite you to share it out to your community. Let me know in the comments that you are getting value from this, and give me some likes, hearts, so that I know that I'm on the right track for you guys. And again, I'm going to be putting in the link in the comments to your 7-day trial of Spa Boss University. Promise you guys won't be disappointed. So give it a shot and join us next week, because we have a special guest that we will be announcing soon, coming on to do a to interview with us next week. And so if you want to keep this conversation going, join us over in the Facebook group, Spa Boss Mindset Money Marketing. So happy to have you there. And I wish you guys the best, most passion-filled, profitable week ever. See you soon.